Nadia Sawala. Miss Jane Moore. Miss Trish Gadudu. That's today's Loose Women lineup.
Women, the show that catapults us live into your living room for a good old lunchtime natter. So go on, spoil yourself and spend the next 45 minutes with us.
Yes, today we've hidden the silver and we've nailed down the furniture, or at least the toasty maker, because Coronation Street, they're all looking for it. Coronation Street's Battersbys are here. That's Les and Janice, alias Bruce Jones and Vicky Entwistle. And we'll be joined later by the shopper who drives the nation, Dottie. Prunella Scales is here too. And as always, we're waiting for your calls. Get dialing early before it's too late. Here's the number, 0207 401 9856. 0207 401 9856. But first, let me say to you, I hope you've had your lunch.
Oh, you're not.
Really. Trish came in this morning and said, oh, I'm a bit nervous. We thought it was about the show.
And I'm not pregnant.
No, that'd be Anthony being nervous. Because you've got, sorry, Trish, you've got an appointment this afternoon.
Yes.
Wait for this, folks.
At 5 o'clock, I've did it, Mum. I've booked a colonic irrigation. Shut up, no, this is true, shut up. I've been promising for years I'll do it, and that's it, 5 o'clock. I'm open-minded, I suppose I'll be open-ended as well. Yes, I'm going to do it.
But listen, why?
Because my mum's always saying to me, Trisha, every woman should have a good washout. Every man should have a good washout. But no, because I eat so much rubbish. I eat meat every day and rubbish.
But maybe you should stop doing that.
No, because it's nice. I mean, chicken and rice and beef and everything. But, so now I've booked it. I'm slightly nervous. If anyone wants to go with me, warm the pipes. But yeah, I'm going to do it. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, I'm not going to take laxatives.
Right, listen, Tricia, listen, I've just got a bit of a dodgy tummy. Let's move on a wee bit. But generally, are you into sort of alternative therapies? You must be.
I am, because, let's be honest, there's so much rubbish about conventional stuff. We know this is bad for us, that's bad for us. We don't know what's in antibiotics, as Nadia said earlier. Why shouldn't we just try the alternative?
Yeah, you're up to try anything. Well, I've been, and my family have 15 years, not even had a GP.
Is that right?
Yeah, we all go to the homeopath. I actually originally went because I had psoriasis and I tried everything, these awful steroid creams and all this, and it would go and then it would come back twice as bad. And I actually went as a skeptic to the homeopath. Right. And over a period of about a couple of months, it got much better, and then eventually went completely.
But if you had something seriously wrong, surely you would go to a good old National Health doctor.
I'm not against conventional medicine. I think the two can work well together. But I mean, for instance, if I was diagnosed with cancer, I certainly wouldn't have conventional medicine.
You wouldn't?
No.
Wow.
But how can
because I think they blast a very, a sick body
but I think
with
until
toxins.
you actually are in that situation and you're desperate, you don't want to die.
Well, of course, who can know? But at the moment, if it happened tomorrow, God forbid, no, I would certainly go for alternative
The thing is, she trusts, homeopathic medicine. So, in her hour of need, she's not suddenly going to go and try a conventional route.
I think you would. I think if you're seriously ill. I mean, I'm a conventional medicine person. I think the alternative thing largely is a licence to print money, and I just think that. For certain things, I mean, today I've gone and bought my first herbal, whatever it's called, echinacea.
That could work for me, maybe.
To try and get rid of my cold, 11 quid for a few...
Well, it won't work. It won't get rid of your cold.
tablets that look like they're full of trill.
So you must be coming... you must be coming round to it then. So, I mean, obviously conventional medicine hasn't managed to make you feel better.
because I can't get rid of my cold. I've tried, all the other remedies, the conventional ones, but, I just look at it from a point of view of a mother. If my daughter was seriously ill, I would be straight down to the nearest hospital and use every bit of conventional medicine I could. I wouldn't be feeding her tablets and saying, oh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I think there are some, sorry, Kate, I think there's some sort of hippie-type alternative medicine which I would not touch. But, I think we should give it a go.
Yeah, but see, that's what kind of worries me. I mean, I'm open to it, but the fact is that the alternative therapies aren't particularly well regulated at the moment, are you? And how do you
Don't talk about regulation, please.
Well, I mean, how do you know that the guy you're going to see, or the woman you're going to see...
It's a woman. It's a woman. It's a woman, Mum.
is, you know, a kind of registered colonic irrigation? I mean, what is
You can
such a
check
thing?
up. I think with most of these
people don't, do they?
Well, then they're more for them. I mean, and the same with doctors. I mean, you can't be absolutely
Well,
sure
that's
of any
true.
doctor that
That's
you go
true.
to.
Yeah.
And you know, time and time again, we hear about failures with conventional medicine.
And it's a huge, I mean, it's a huge market. I mean, I was reading somewhere the other day at the internet, which we all know is a growing market, that it is, health sites are the most popular sites being accessed by anyone. So, I mean, it's, well, obviously it's something that concerns us all because we all need our health. Yeah. But, I mean, give us a ring if you've had any stories concerning whether you've gone to an alternative health practitioner and it's worked for you, or
if you've had a chronic irrigation and you want to wish me some
maybe
not. 0207 401 9856, because we would like to hear your experiences on that. I mean, I've got some good experiences and some bad. I remember once going to see this homeopath guy, and I was all right, but there was an older man in the waiting room with his daughter, and he was sitting with this funny headgear on and red lights going
Sure,
like
he was
this.
a homeopath?
No, this was a patient. Oh, you mean... Now, even I would suss that was a bit dodgy. Hello, doctor. Anyway, this old man is there, and his daughter, when the old chap went out, said to me, I'm really worried. My dad's losing his sight. He's desperate. He can't cope with it. And he insists that I bring him here. It's £40 a throw. It's not making any difference, but he's clutching at straws.
But in the same way, people would go to one private hospital after another with conventional medicine. I mean, people will, in desperate need, search for
So what amazes
something.
me is that you say a member of your family went through childbirth with natural remedies. I mean,
and
having done that, the thought of not having...
Well, and
All
with
the
both her
painkillers.
babies, and by the end of it, when she first went into the hospital, everyone was poo-pooing it. Oops, sorry. By the end of their labour, I mean, the doctors were coming from all round the hospital because they'd heard about her extraordinary labour and they wanted to know exactly what she'd had.
But I wonder if Catherine Zeta-Jones will have any babies now that she's announced that she's going to marry Mr. Douglas.
Yeah, but it's true love, and I'm sure they will get married. Tricia?
It's the casting couch.
Oh, they're so cynical, aren't they? It's true love, isn't it? No.
Listen, any man, apart from Anthony, that gives me 3 diamond rings and takes me on private jets and whatever, I'm going to love him if he's 102.
Rubbish.
Right, okay, honesty
money
check.
does not make somebody attractive. I think they are... Listen, I've
women,
met
though. To
Michael
some
Douglas. He is very, very attractive.
But would it be attractive if he, you know, if he didn't have any money and he was shuffling about in
No,
these,
but that's whole part of the person.
Soddy
The money,
old
the
anorak.
power gives somebody their charisma. But he's a very charismatic
shallow
man. But
women.
I've met
The
a lot
shallow
of men who've got loads of money and loads of power who I look at and think, oh, not in a million years.
But that's
would
you.
I.
There are some shallow women out there.
But if you had the choice of going out with a guy with money or a guy without money, what would you go for? All other things being equal. All
whoever
other
makes
things
me
being
laugh
equal.
is
All
my
other
thing.
things being equal.
All other things being equal, with money, of course.
See, I've sort of gone out with a lot of penniless men. It's, oh, you know, I'm one of those. I mean, if they've got a nice personality, they buy me a bag of chips on a Friday.
That is a cheap date.
I'm a cheap date. No, but seriously, I've met some really rich guys, and they're like, hello, hello, what day is it? And, you know, so, you know, at the end of the day, if the guy is nice, got a nice personality, treats you nice, money does not buy happiness. It does not, you know.
No, but if you've got a nice bloke with money, what's the problem? The danger here is that we say because he has money, therefore she's only after him for his money. What,
I wouldn't say...
They are in love, I think.
I
and good luck
suspect,
to them.
I suspect it's not so much the money, because, I mean, she can command huge fees now with her soaring career. Bless her.
That's nice.
Can anyone be that beautiful? No, I'm fine.
See, aren't we all just jealous?
She's married into the royal family of Hollywood. And, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, though I hate her, good for her. I mean, she really likes the guy, you know, they have a good time, but it is a great career move.
Yeah, and it's the oldest story of the book, isn't it? Young, beautiful woman goes for older guy who's got wealth and power and status, and, you know, we can see what's in it for each of them. That's it. I mean, it's the ever...
But aren't we all a bit... Why can't we just assume that they're also in love with each other?
Because it'd be boring.
Please, now, you know what? to be fair to Jane, I think I'm partly jealous because I would love, you know, sort of, you know, to have a rich guy.
Coming
now
out
and
now,
again.
Trish, it's coming out
But
now.
I'm happy. But like I say, I'm happy with Anthony. What about the audience? What do you think? Who would like a rich guy? Who goes for a rich guy? Just, you know,
Yeah, let's have a hands up. Women,
Hands
let's
up,
be
come on.
honest here.
If
Who
everything
would
else
go for a rich
yeah.
man?
Oh, yeah, there's a lady.
Oh, but one honest lady, I did. Good, well done. You would rather have a man with money, would you? Would you?
Yes.
Is this your husband next to you?
Yes.
Has he got money?
If I'm with him, you must have. No, not really.
Yeah, she's taking his arm now. Not really just with you.
What about if somebody, if you really, really, really liked someone, but they were penniless? Would anyone think twice?
Yeah, how's about that
Yeah.
one? Would you go out with a man that you really liked, but he had not a button and was never going to have one?
Do you know what? They're
No.
all,
No.
Do you know what? They are so
If I love
dishonest.
it, yes,
If
yes,
you love it.
yes, yes.
Given that you want to go home with him today, I can see why you've changed your mind very quickly. I think I would have done exactly the
Do you know what I love
same.
about it? You know, when push comes to shove, people are like, oh no, I can't say that. But,
But you'll say it, won't you? You'll give us a ring and tell us the truth
Yes.
because you've got anonymity there on the end of your phone, so give us a call.
to be
It's,
fair-
oh,
sorry.
calm, Trish, calm. She's all excited about her wee procedure. It's 0207 401 9856. She's sitting on the wrong side there. 0207 401 9856. Give us a call and tell us if you think money is really important. Would you really rather be with a man with money when, you know, push comes to shove? Or a woman, indeed, indeed. And give us your stories about alternative therapies because that's a really interesting area and that's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Give us a call, Jane.
Right, well, it's pretty ironic, really, that having starred in some of the most watched TV shows ever and being one of the country's best loved actresses, Prunella Scales is currently best known for her role in a certain TV commercial. Before we meet her, here's a look at her in full Dottie mode.
Oh, look! That's even less than it was last week.
Perhaps they're having a closing down sale.
I'll ask.
Excuse me, when are you closing?
Oh, you've got a few hours yet, madam.
Grab it.
A warm welcome to Prunella Scales, everyone. Now, I mean, we were just saying there that you are very well known for those TV commercials, but there's a whole other sort of spectrum to what you do, isn't there? I mean, for example, from one extreme to another, I think next week you're starring as Queen Victoria, aren't you?
Yes, it's the 20th anniversary of a show I've done about Queen Victoria for 20 years now. We're doing it for a charity, the Family Holiday Association, at the Wigmore Hall, and I'll give you the booking, booking numbers
Plug it.
as and when. Well, it's lovely to have a show like that. I think we first did it 20 years ago when my children were very young, and my husband was sort of careering around the country playing enormous Shakespeare leading parts. And this friend compiled a programme about Queen Victoria based entirely on her own writing, from her letters and journals. And to everybody's intense surprise, it's very funny. And
it must be hard to make Queen Victoria sexy.
she was very sexy.
Was
she? Was passionate. Listen, she had 9 children under 15.
Yes. Yeah.
And very powerful, of which, as we were saying, is very sexy.
Couldn't stop. And she complained about it. She didn't like having so many children. But, of course, she did have a lot of help in the house. But she
Just slightly.
But there was no contraception in those days, and so, you know, she just went on having babies. And, but she's a fascinating creature, and it's been lovely to have that show over the years.
Because, you know, obviously we'll remember you in 40 Towers. Wasn't she great? Yeah. Brilliant. And you have played sort of overbearing, comedy characters. You obviously love comedy.
Do whatever I'm asked to do, really.
When
you know.
When you were doing Faulty Towers,
Yes.
did you know at the time that it would become such a huge phenomenon?
Well, we only did, well, initially only 6 of them. And when we did the pilot, the then head of comedy at the BBC was walking up and down in the passage outside saying, "I do not know what John is thinking of. He must have gone mad." And of course it was one of the most successful programmes they've ever done. No, at the time it was just a question of getting the lines learned and doing it in front of one invited audience once a week
Can you just say it for us? Can you say
No,
Basil's
no,
name?
cost you
Okay.
much. Only do it for me.
Oh, please, Basil!
No.
Fantastic.
That's about
Sounds
right.
a bit like my mum, actually.
It's a bit like
when
that,
you know, you've got a Jamaican look to you. Basil, yeah, Trisha.
Yeah, what is your what was your inspiration for Sybil and for Dottie?
Well, Dottie was. I'm from Yorkshire myself, but Jane is from Lancashire, so we decided to base it in Lancashire. But I thought she was a northerner rather than, and also I wanted her to be completely different from Sybil, and Sybil was South Coast catering. You know what I mean? Yes, she's based on several people I knew well all through my life.
Can you
really.
actually go around the supermarket now without being hassled? Is it kind
Not
of
allowed to. I have to shop in that one.
that one?
Oh, right. We won't mention
What
it.
kind of reaction do you get from people?
Well, they very often don't recognise me, I'm glad to say.
Fabulous.
Yeah, because you haven't got the hat and
No, that's right. The hat and the specs, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw you in Single Spies, Alan Bennett's Single Spies, where you played the Queen.
Oh, yes. yes.
Queen Victoria next week. Have you ever met the Queen? I mean, it's a very good impersonation that
Yes,
you're doing.
I did meet her shortly after that. I mean, the thing about playing the Queen is that she's so well documented. There's masses and masses of stuff, you know, you can watch her in real life on documentaries and so on. So she was easier to play than the other part I had to play in that programme, which was Coral Brown, who I had met, but that was all.
Yeah.
But I did meet the Queen sometime afterwards, and she shook hands and she said, "I suppose you think you ought to be doing this."
Oh, did she? Did she giggle? I'd love to see the Queen giggle. I'd just love to see the Queen giggle.
So I wrote a very...
And the other thing, we were just
I wrote and said
talking...
that I thought she did it much better, really.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah, you got a creep to the Queen. But also, you've been married to Timothy West for 37 years.
I know, I have to wear an elastic band between my wedding ring and my engagement ring because they're wearing each other out.
That is such a fantastic achievement, especially in showbiz where so many marriages...
Oh, it's not true. I think all the people we know have been married forever.
Do you think
Richard
it's a
and Annie
generational
O'Briens
thing?
have been married much longer than we have.
Do you think it's a generational thing?
I don't know. I mean, most of the showbiz couples I know have been married as long or longer than we have.
Gosh, let's hope.
Oh yes,
there's
good
hope
luck.
for us.
Yes, there is.
Well, I don't think there's hope for me having a 37-year marriage, not at my age. I'd have to start very quickly.
Oh, darling!
Well, very quickly,
I'm granny now.
Victoria, have you got anything else coming up on television?
Yes, I'm. Yeah, doing. Well, I'm going to do a tour of the Cherry Orchard of Chekhov's The Cherry Orchard, which is lovely. I mean, in this country, the fact that I do a commercial, means that I can afford to work in regional theatre, which
Well,
is
it sounds
very
like you have a very, very busy year ahead.
Can I give you the booking number for
quickly,
Queen
yes,
Victoria?
please.
Yes. It's 01719352214. And I've got to talk about it's because of the Family Holiday Association.
Yes,
lovely.
And you
Which
said it without
sends families on holiday.
which is a very, very good cause.
Thank you very much
Yep.
indeed for coming along
Thank
today.
you for having
A round
me.
of
Yes.
applause for Prunella. Well done. Right, Jane, stay there.
Welcome back to Loose Women, and they don't come any looser than Trish this afternoon. Now, lots of calls coming in. Sorry, Trish.
Just in case you weren't watching before the break.
No, we don't need to explain.
I'm having
Right, comments. Here's the first one from Denise in West Yorkshire. Denise actually disagrees about alternative treatments, and she says it was only antibiotics that got rid of her flu. So there you go, Jane.
Exactly. Right, OK. We've got Russell from Leicester who says, "Oh, Jane, you're going to like this. Don't get rid of your cold. We like your husky voice." Oh! It's really annoying when people say that, isn't it? Because you know you're going to have to.
I shall throw that echinacea away now.
Yeah, don't get your cousin to ring you next time.
Rachel from the Midlands thinks a lot of people are jealous of Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Too right we are.
Yeah.
Too right.
And we admit it.
And Lynn from Derbyshire says, if you could bottle Nadia's laugh, it would be a great medicine.
Oh,
Isn't it wonderful?
I feel embarrassed. Oh, sorry. Now, from Jerry and Mick to Patsy and Liam, we're well used to couples who like a bit of a Barney. Well, Corrie's Janice and Les Battersby can scrap with the best of them, but underneath it all, they're a couple of softies, really. Please give a very warm welcome to Bruce Jones and Vicky Entwistle.
Just watching that clip, and even a very poignant little scene.
Looked attractive, didn't I?
You're worried. Your daughter's sick.
Yeah, I've been up all night.
You look that attractive. I should have put you in the next bed.
they said, let's just leave them to get on with it. So you like this in real life then, are you? You always
No,
with each other.
we're a great... like we are on the street, we are in real life. We look
just
after
have
each
a
other
laugh.
and have a laugh. And,
We have such
and
a
we all believe in each other and trust each other. And there's
But
no
Bruce, I
secret.
hear you're a bit of a new man. Is that not right? Last night, doing a bit of ironing?
Yeah, he ironed my
Oh
jumper.
my God. Sandra, don't watch this programme. Love.
Is that your wife?
That's my wife.
He never
Sandra,
irons
turn
for
off.
Sandra. I went, iron that jumper.
Go on.
I,
Out with it.
I had to iron her pants and jumper last night. And I
Trousers, you mean?
don't get me wrong, we're good mates. And I'm trying to watch the football. And the only way I could get her out was if I ironed. And so what does she do? I iron the pants into that jumper. She phones my wife up and tells her.
So she'll be waiting with a big basket when you
She
get
will.
home.
He'll get it, won't he, when he gets home?
I'm in trouble now.
But the comedy in Coronation Street is always something that we all love. We certainly miss often on EastEnders. Well, that's the difference that I
Sure,
like.
no,
that
I
like
think you're
between
right,
East End
absolutely.
what do you like playing best? The heavy stuff or the more comedy?
I don't like
Or
that.
it's
a bit of
both,
both.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to have a mix,
I
isn't
think we've got one of them characters that where we have a different director every week, same as you must have had on EastEnders when you were there. We get a different director every week, and we sort of talk to the director and say, and I'll say, how do you want me? Loud, medium, low? And Vicky will go either way, and we talk to the director and we get our feedback from him.
It's quite nice that you have a different one every week, because it's quite refreshing.
And does that make a difference to you? I mean, I would have thought, not that you'd be an autopilot, but I mean, you're in like
it
every
does,
scene,
because
aren't you?
obviously, you know, every director's got different viewpoint, different ideas, you know. Shoots things different ways, and so it's quite refreshing.
When you first came into the show, there was quite a lot of reaction.
My mum wasn't happy.
Her mum
She was not happy, I tell
There was a
you.
lot of people. I remember.
Even my mum didn't like us.
My mum told me off because I had to go to Ken Barlow, so I can never go to anyone but Mr. Barlow.
Mr. Barlow's nice.
Mr. Barlow's nice, and I remember going in a pub one day in Manchester. We've been on, how long have we been on about? We'd just been in, and we'd hit like the Beverly Hillbillies, and we suddenly become the Addams Family. And,
Careful, Bruce.
I was standing in a pub one day, and suddenly I was at the bar with a couple of friends having a drink. Whack, handbag on the head.
Wow.
I won't say the exact words, you'd have to bleep it all. And this woman turned around and she was not happy.
Really?
But you
can.
No, because of who we were in the streets.
I don't think that was my mum right enough.
She did have a Scottish accent.
She's Scottish.
Ooh. But you really won the public round, and you know, one of the most popular.
Well, I remember standing in the car park, and Brian Park, who was then our producer.
I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago.
Did you? He's lovely. And I was getting out my little Mini Cooper, and he went to me, how does it feel to be hated by 95% of the nation? And I said, 98, mate. I was 98, and it said it on the CFAX.
So did you have much to say? I mean, did you go up to that? I mean, I had a similar thing when I first joined EastEnders. Well, actually, all the way through EastEnders with Annie Palmer, that she was too hard and too tough a lot of the time, and people want to see other sides of the character and other dimensions. Were you worried about that initially when you first came in? I mean, did you go up to scriptwriters and say, we've got to calm down?
No,
Because the tide has
you
turned,
won
hasn't
everybody
it?
round.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, we never had that say. They turned us around in a way, using Vicky really rather than me, that the idea was we'd gone into the street, Vicky loved the street, we're not getting kicked out of this house like we've been kicked out of every other house. So told the line.
They started to write it
They started
for
to write
us,
that in, yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And
Because
I
at
did at
first-
first think, God, am I going to shout my head off for, you know, the next year or whatever? And then they're just clever, aren't they? They put little snippets in, and then all of a sudden,
But at first
you
you
know,
thought
you're
these,
softened up.
at first you thought these characters will never be credible, but you've actually played the whole gamut. So it's really emotional scenes, really poignant scenes, and you were talking about the humour, but in that scene that we saw earlier, it was quite, you know, poignant. But there was just a line in there from Toya that made you laugh. So it's all kind of
There's a
intermingled,
scene this week where I find out about Leanne. I actually find out the truth, and Les had gone on a mission to get the guys who's beat her up. And there's a scene this week in it where you're in the pub and you've got the pet, you know, you found out, and I just barge in the pub, straight through the bar, straight into the back room, and she's there, Leanne's there.
They write some lovely
juicy
stuff.
And it's there, and it's the emotions there, the tears are falling, she's crying, he's crying, and he's found out about the drugs.
Right, when's that?
I think it's this week sometime, and he's found out about what she's done.
But it's great, you know, an issue like that, because at the end of the day, if it stops one kid,
Exactly.
if it deters one, you know, from going down that road, it's got to be a good thing, hasn't it?
Yeah. So we're kind of run out of time, unfortunately, but tell me just quickly, how did you two feel when you were introduced to each other as, like, this is going to be your screen wife, this is going to be your screen
We just
husband?
hugged each other and just gave each other a kiss, and that was it. The day was up, and it was off to work.
Right,
Yeah, I thought, what a dish.
What is it? I bet you can iron a nice crease.
Yeah, exactly. You don't put any lines in your arm.
I must admit, when I go home at night, I always call in the pub for a couple of pints, and you know that, Sam, so I'm not telling lies. And I always have a couple of pints and chill out, because you know what it's like. At the end of the day, don't go home. Have a couple of pints and chill out. And funny, like last night, my mate comes, he said, New Year's Eve, you and Sandra, like, you know, you're having a great night and in the pub, and Monday you have to go back to your other wife. How do you get on with going back to your other wife? Like, tell her what I'd done with the first.
Spend more time with it, real wife.
So do you know what you did today?
These two phone each other
Telltales on
up.
him.
She phones my wife, what's he done this week so I can get him? And they're on the phone, her and Sandra.
Well, listen, Bruce, we're going to our phone in now, so hopefully, Sandra, is that your wife?
Phone in.
Give us a call, Sandra, 0207 401 9856. We want to hear about his ironing. So, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I still haven't got over seeing Bruce doing a striptease in the film The Full Monty, so there you go. Anyway, it's a time now for a chat with you guys at home. Our first caller on the line is Joe from Surrey. Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Now, I gather you brought your husband a very unusual present for Christmas.
I did. This is for you, Trish. I bought him a colonic irrigation.
Oh, good on you, girl. Good on you.
I wrapped it up in his Christmas card.
Where did you put the pipes?
No, I didn't actually physically do it myself. I bought him, I arranged it all for him and put it in his Christmas card.
What did he say?
He was the butt of many jokes for a long time.
Butt of many jokes.
Can I just ask, why? Why did you buy
It's
him
one of
that?
them things that I'd actually seen on another programme, and he'd gone on for years that it's something he wanted.
Good for him.
And he's actually having another one for his birthday.
Oh, is he? Now, tell me, Joe, did he sort of, there was no problems, was there?
No, he loved
obvious
it.
problems.
And he felt better straight away.
He's going in to have the pipe surgically removed next week.
He's had a big smile on his face ever since.
Oh, well, so we might see you with a big smile on your
I'll
face.
tell you all about it next week.
You'll enjoy it.
Joe, thanks very much for
Thanks,
giving her
Joe.
that vote of confidence, because I think she was getting just a little bit trepidatious
The jokes
about
are
that, so
starting to
that's
wear
great.
a bit thin, you know.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll feel much better.
And did his skin look better, by the way?
Yeah, and his eyesight improved whilst having it.
His eyes came out on stalks. Joe, thanks very much. I'm really glad you called, but really, I don't know if I can take much more. But thanks for calling in. Thanks. Bye for now. Jane from Cheshire. Hi, Jane.
Hi.
Hi. Don't tell me you're going to talk about colonic irrigation as well, are you?
No. I'm just ringing up about the situation where it's better to be with somebody with money or without money, because I've been in both situations.
OK, tell us your experience then.
Well, I reckon it's better to be with someone with money. You've got to have the love as well, but money does make it much better. I was with someone for 7.5 years who didn't really work that often, and it was a struggle and it was hard. And now I'm with my lovely husband who's always worked, and it's much nicer, much sweeter.
Right. So, what's your lifestyle like now then, Jane?
Very nice. We won the lottery.
There you go.
How much?
Sorry?
How much did you win?
Enough.
Now, come on, let's play higher, lower. Right.
Higher.
$500,000.
Not far off that.
Oh, lovely. Nice
300,000?
Yes, about that.
Oh, that's a nice amount.
Comfortable.
And does that make you feel...
Oh, yes. I mean, after struggling for years, not having any money and wondering where the next penny was coming from, we don't have to do that anymore. And it's
Who bought the ticket, Jane?
It was actually a syndicate from my husband's work.
Oh, right.
So I can't really say too much until I get smacked.
But the thing is, we all know that life is better with money. We all know that. But what... yes, it is.
You've got to have the love as well.
You've got to have the love because, you know, I mean, my parents didn't have anything. And, you know, fantastic marriage. And you know, growing up as kids, it was lovely being in a household where you didn't get everything, and you know, everything wasn't on a plate. But what I'm saying is, I think psychologically that may have affected me slightly.
I disagree though, because I grew up with a big family and with nothing, and I think I always wanted things in my life. I always thought, I want a nice house. And I even advised my friend who was only 19 and her previous partner worked in a factory, God love him. But now I even say to her, before you go out with someone, before you go on a second date, find out if they've got a car, if they've got a job, because she wants them nice things.
I think money is just the icing on the cake, isn't it? It's not the actual cake.
But I have
if you've got it, that's great.
But Jane, I have to say, I would say to young girls, particularly in that situation, if you want these things, then go and get them yourself. Don't rely on a guy to get it for you.
She's got a career where she wants to become something, but it also makes two of you. You've both got a good wage coming in. It does make life sweeter, because I've been in a situation where it was just me working, and it was hard. It's not nice.
I think it's just so dodgy to say to boys and girls that make sure your partner's got a car, and I really do, because you know, some people who haven't got money make fantastic partners.
Oh no, they've got to be a nice person as well. They can't be a scumbag. And I've
been out with scumbags. I've been out with loads of scumbags.
You've got to be nice. You've got to be nice.
I think you're kind of speaking the truth, as a lot of people say it. So enjoy your money
and
don't blow it, and make sure it's there for a long time.
You know what
I'm
like? My 2 children.
I like you to save your money. Bye for now. Have a good weekend.
Bye. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. We've got Jenny in Leicestershire now. Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. What would you like to say?
I'd just like to say I don't think that if Michael Douglas was the same age as Catherine Zeta-Jones, there'd be any problem with them being together. No one would have mentioned the money.
Absolutely.
Right, you think it's all about the age difference, and they think dirty old man and young girl on the make?
I mean, I've been married to my husband for 1.5 years now, and there's a 27-year age gap. We've been together for 4 years. And we're so happy. It really does happen. People do fall in love. Not just because of money. I mean,
what sort of comments did you get when you first got together?
Oh, that he was just after me for sex, and I just wanted him for his wallet, and that we were disgusting and sick.
Jenny, I mean, if there are any problems in an age gap relationship, what would you say that they were?
The only problems I found was you've got to be able to take other people looking at you as though there's something wrong. That was the only thing, and it was, if we didn't love each other, we wouldn't have lasted for the first year, because people were really awful. I'm 21 now. I was 17 when I met him.
So he's 38.
But that
48.
48. Oh God, my mathematics is.
Let's be honest. If I saw you on the street with your husband, I mean, you know, I would look. I'm not going to sit here and say that I wouldn't, because I think you do tend to look at older. Well, you tend to look at older women with younger men more, don't you?
Yeah.
But that, you know, big long age gaps like that do attract attention, and it's even made even more so with Catherine Zeta-Jones, because it's the whole Hollywood lifestyle that we're all terribly jealous about.
Yeah, I think that's true, but I mean, if there was no money issue, I think people would just say, oh, isn't that nice? 2 Hollywood people have got together, and I hope they're very happy.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be, she's only there for the money.
Well, listen, Jenny, thanks very much. Glad to hear you've got a good story on that one. Nadia, are you thinking perhaps there's more to it then?
No. Sticking to me guns.
She did get engaged twice, didn't she? So she is looking for a long-term partner.
Oh, but isn't it? Aren't most people, to be fair, you know, I mean, and how many people don't have a string of failed relationships behind them before they get onto something that
like a big millionaire?
But that's a whole other show.
That's a whole other show. That's good. Yes, it is. God, time's flown again. We're heading towards the end, but we do have time for the loose woman one-liner. And I think it comes from John over there. Is that right?
That's right.
John, you've got a wee question for us?
Well, it's my worst cooking disaster. So I made some fairy cakes and opened up the oven, and they disappeared. So my mum said the fairies had come and took them. Obviously, I've done the mixture wrong.
Right, well, let's tell you what ours are. Worst cooking disasters. Let me think. Trish?
Oh, no. Oh, gosh, I was trying to impress this guy at university, and there was a really swanky takeaway cafe thingy, and I pretended that I'd bought all the food from there because it was really expensive, the place. I'd actually cooked all the stuff myself, and it was terrible. And, you know, he was eating it really slowly. And he said, oh, where did this come from? I'm going to take it back. And I said, no, you can't take it back. He goes, no, I'm going to take it back. And I had to go with him to this takeaway, this really expensive takeaway. He said, this curry goat and ginger is disgusting. He said, sorry, sir, we don't do curry goat and ginger. And I'm like, I had to confess it was really awful.
The end of a relationship, Jane.
Everything I've ever cooked is a disaster. I'm a hopeless cook, but one time I had loads of people around for Sunday lunch, and I'd actually bought from the supermarket the ready-done chicken. All you do is put it in the oven. I forgot to put the oven on. Went to take it out, it almost flew out of the oven. It was so still alive.
God.
Well, I'm afraid to say that I haven't had one because I'm a fabulous cook. But a boyfriend of mine once that cooked for me, cooked a chicken and left the giblets bag in with the plastic. That's pretty gross.
That is horrible. Oh, I'm a bad cook as well. Even going back to school, we made shepherd's pie, and mine was the one with mince on the top and potatoes on the bottom. And it's got worse from there, and I can tell you. That's it for today and for the week, but join us again on Monday. We've got Tessa Peake-Jones, who's better known as Del Boy's Mrs. Raquel, and some of the people who were marooned on a desert island for a bizarre TV experiment. Could be us next time.
So until then, have a good weekend and stay loose. See ya.